Hello everyone and welcome back to IELTS Time, the series where we explore IELTS speaking topics and show you how to answer them naturally, confidently and clearly. I'm Archer and today we're diving into speaking part 3, the topic, relaxation. In a moment you'll hear a short sample dialogue, just like in the real IELTS test. Jessica asks the questions, Joseph answers, and you'll notice how he develops his ideas, uses strong vocabulary, and keeps everything sounding natural. After the dialogue, I'll walk you through his answers, highlighting the techniques and expressions you can use in your own speaking.
Do people in your country have enough places to relax?
Yeah, I think for the most part they do, but it really depends on where you are. In big cities, there are public parks, gardens, and even quiet little coffee shops where people can escape from the noise. In the countryside, it's a different story. You've got open fields, hiking trails, and forests right on your doorstep. So, while the places themselves are different, most people have access to some kind of relaxing environment.
Which do you think is more important? Mental relaxation or physical relaxation?
That's a tough one. I'd say both are essential because they work hand in hand. But if I had to choose, I'd go with mental relaxation. When your mind is racing, it's almost impossible for your body to truly rest. But if you can quiet your thoughts, your body usually follows. That said, things like stretching, yoga, or even a massage are great because they relax the body and in turn calm the mind.
Are people generally more relaxed when they're close to nature?
Definitely. There's just something about being in nature that immediately puts people at ease. The sound of birds, the smell of fresh air, or even just looking at the sky can be incredibly calming. I think our brains are wired to connect with natural surroundings, and studies even show that spending time outdoors lowers stress and blood pressure. It's also a break from screens and concrete, which most people really need these days.
Do people nowadays have more ways to relax compared to the past?
For sure, in the past, people mainly had books, radio, or maybe a walk around the neighborhood. Now we've got endless options, streaming services, podcasts, video games, fitness apps, meditation, and even virtual travel experiences. The variety is a big plus, but the downside is that having too many choices can feel overwhelming and people sometimes struggle to just pick one thing and switch off.
Is it necessary to spend a lot of money to relax?
Not at all. Some of the best ways to relax are completely free. Going for a walk, listening to music, or spending time with friends and family doesn't cost anything. Of course, some people associate relaxation with things like luxury holidays or spa treatments, but I think that's more about indulgence than necessity. Real relaxation comes more from being present than from spending money.
Is physical activity a good way to relax?
Oh yeah, totally. Exercise is one of the best stress relievers because it releases endorphins, which boost your mood naturally. It also gives you a break from whatever's on your mind since you're focused on moving your body. It doesn't have to be intense either. Light stretching, yoga, or just going for a walk can leave you feeling refreshed and clear-headed.
What do people usually do when they feel relaxed?
It varies a lot, but usually it's something enjoyable that doesn't require much effort. Some people read or listen to music, others binge watch shows or just chill on the couch. For many, it's about spending time with friends or family. At the end of the day, it's less about the specific activity and more about feeling calm and recharged.
Do you think people today find it harder to relax than in the past?
Yes, I'd say so. Life today moves much faster and people are always connected through phones and social media. In the past, once you left work, you were done for the day. Now, emails and notifications follow you everywhere, even on holiday. So while we have more tools to relax than ever before, the constant pressure to be productive makes it harder to fully switch off.
All right, let's break down Joseph's answers and highlight what makes them so effective. We'll go question by question and pull out useful vocabulary, phrases, and structures you can use in your own speaking. On the first question, about whether people in the country have enough places to relax, Joseph compares city and countryside. He mentions parks, gardens, and coffee shops for urban areas, and open fields, hiking trails, and forests for rural areas. This contrast is very effective. It shows the examiner he can consider different contexts. Notice his phrase, escape the noise. This is more natural than saying, get away from the city. It paints a vivid picture, and you can use it when talking about taking a break from busy environments. Also, right on your doorstep is an idiom that highlights accessibility. It's a simple way to sound fluent and conversational. For the second question, about mental versus physical relaxation, Joseph acknowledges both sides, but chooses mental relaxation as slightly more important. He uses the idiom, work hand in hand, showing a natural spoken style. His phrase, when your mind is racing, is very expressive. It immediately conveys stress to the listener. Then he connects this to the body, explaining that calming the mind helps the body relax. You can use this cause and effect structure to make your answers sound logical. On the third question, about relaxing in nature, Joseph starts confidently with definitely, and then paints a sensory picture. The sound of birds, the smell of fresh air, even looking at the sky. Using multiple senses makes your answer vivid and memorable. He also says, our brains are wired to connect with natural surroundings. This is a sophisticated way to explain why nature is calming. Finally, he adds a small reference to research about stress and blood pressure. Including tiny details like this adds credibility without sounding over-prepared. Next, we look at how relaxation today compares with the past. Joseph contrasts the past, with books or the radio, against today's endless options like streaming, podcasts, and apps. He then mentions the downside. Too many choices can feel overwhelming. This is great analytical language. It shows the examiner you can weigh pros and cons, not just list ideas. Endless options is a vivid phrase you can use in many contexts. For the following question, we consider whether it's necessary to spend money to relax. Joseph emphasizes that real relaxation is often free. Walks, music, time with friends. Then he contrasts this with luxury holidays or spa treatments. The line that's more indulgence than necessity is polished and precise. Using distinctions like this in your own answers shows depth and careful thought. The sixth question focuses on physical activity and its role in relaxation. Joseph starts with a friendly, conversational, "Oh yeah, totally," which makes his speaking natural. Then he mentions endorphins, a scientific term that sounds impressive but natural. He also explains clearly why exercise helps relaxation, shifting attention away from worries and feeling refreshed. Notice how he combines precise vocabulary with everyday expressions. That balance is key. For the seventh question, about what people do when they feel relaxed, Joseph keeps his answer broad, which is smart. He lists reading, music, binge watching, socializing, and then uses the word recharge instead of repeating relax. Using synonyms like this gives lexical variety and keeps your language dynamic. And finally, about whether it's harder to relax today. Joseph explains life today is faster, and people are always connected via phones and social media. Then he contrasts this with the past, when leaving work meant a real break. The expression emails and notifications follow you everywhere is vivid, and his conclusion ties the answer together. More tools exist today, but it's harder to switch off. Using a mini conclusion at the end of your answer is a very effective strategy. So across all 8 questions, Joseph uses natural, confident English, mixes idioms, precise vocabulary, and examples, and structures his answers logically. You can practice using phrases like escape the noise, work hand in hand, or right on your doorstep. Alright, that wraps up our analysis of Joseph's answers on relaxation. Remember, strong answers combine clear ideas, natural vocabulary, and confident delivery. Take these techniques, practice them in your own responses, and you'll see your speaking improve. Thanks for watching IELTS Time. See you in the next lesson.